Hey everyone, and welcome to my chaotic mess. If you're new here, my name's Melissa.
Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. 'Cause I
Today,
found my way.
oh man, okay, let's just go back to yesterday. Yesterday I took the day off. I gave myself a day off. That was scary. And anyway, it's almost 1:30 in the afternoon and I haven't done anything today. So I said, Melissa, get off your ass and do something. And that's what we're doing. We're gonna do the dishes and start dinner because I'm making, I need to check, make sure I have vegetables. I know I have canned peas, if anything else. So I'm making chicken surprise, which is kind of a go-to when nothing else sounds good. And really, food in general hasn't sounded good. Today I went and got McDonald's, which I never really do anymore. I don't really go out to eat for lunch anymore, but I was like, my only other option is a ham sandwich, and I'm kind of tired of ham sandwiches, just to be honest. I eat them more often than anything else because it's one of the few things that my body tolerates. So I have a feeling that I will probably not feel very well later because I ate McDonald's. Anyway, that being said, we're gonna unload this crap, reload the dishwasher, get water on to boil with the chicken. That way it kind of makes like a broth as well, which is what I use when I cook the stuffing. And then we'll get everything put together, put it in a casserole dish, and then it's ready to go in the oven when it's closer to the time to eat. Does that make sense? Did that come out right? Did I say it properly? I don't know. This has been the problem lately, is that I've literally been standing up for about 4 minutes, getting the tripod and everything set up, and I already feel like I need to sit down again. Anyway, before we start this crap, I got my Magic Candle Company order in yesterday. Not sponsored, maybe one day. Doubt it, but maybe. Anyway, I got Floridian, which I know I already have one of these, but it's fine. I got Bayou Adventure. I'm sure this is like the one that goes with the Tiana ride. I got Destino. I don't even know what that is. It says Enchanted. Oh, Enchanted. Okay. Anyway. And then I got Rome Burning. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of smells like a campfire. Walt's Office honestly is my favorite, and it's weird to say that because it has like a cigar, but not a burning cigar smell. You know how like if you just take a cigar and do that, it has that smell? I hate like the smell of cigarettes and stuff like that, but cigars, they have like this woodsy smell. It's hard to explain, but I really like Walt's Office is one of my favorites. Aside from like the Christmas scents and stuff like that. But anyway, we're gonna be burning these this week and stuff like that. So guys, you know how I made bread the other day? I still have the mat covered in flour on my dining room table, and yeah, that's my life. My life is literally at a point where it's like You know, I don't care. You know, I don't have the energy. I don't have the motivation. I don't have it in me anymore. Like, full transparency right now, my arms, wrists, and hands hurt so bad that the thought of having to pick stuff up with them is excruciating. But if I don't do the dishes, no one's going to do the dishes. But you know what? I am going to actually go sit down because my back is yelling at me. And then I'm going to start cooking while I do the dishes after I take another break. So, I just want to feel better. I hope one day I can feel better. I hope one day I can clean my whole house again without having to take 2 months to clean it. You know, and I say that like, I mean actually clean my house. I don't mean like surface clean. I mean like deep clean my house. It takes me months. It takes me months. Surface clean takes me about a week. If I want a deep clean, it takes months to do it. I still haven't finished deep cleaning the kitchen. I still have to remove the refrigerator, clean the microwave, and no, I already wiped the counter off. But, you know, when do I have the energy to do it? I don't. I have enough energy to get the surface cleaning done, and that's it. And it sucks. But I do need to get the microwave cleaned before my dad comes. So we're going to do that for sure sometime. Maybe not in this video, but sometime. It's so messy. It's so messy. And here's the thing. I thought I honestly did think about hiring a maid to come in and reset everything. But I don't have the money for that, so that's out of the question. It sucks. It sucks. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. In just a few, well, for you it'll be in an instant, but for me it'll be a little bit later, so I'll be back. I wanted to take a minute and remind you guys, this is not a new cleaning video. This is one that was recorded, oh my god, probably a month ago or more by now. I'm reminding you guys of that in case some of you didn't watch the previous video where I explained that I wasn't going to be making cleaning videos for a while, so don't get too excited. This is just one that I hadn't gotten around to editing yet, and I decided that before I start putting anything else out there, that I would get this one done. I am working on getting a requested video done about Disney tips and stuff. I'm working on that one still. Mainly I'm just looking for photos to go with my conversation, so you're not just staring at me the whole time, and I'm trying to decide how I want to record it, where I want to record it, and so on and so forth. I'm thinking I want to do my Disney wall first and then kind of have the Disney wall as my backdrop, but I'm still trying to decide, so bear with me. I know I said that video was going to be out the beginning of June. I'm sorry, the beginning of July, but it may very well be the middle of July. Just because I'm trying to finalize a bunch of things on it and make sure I have all my information that I want to put out there. So I'm trying to do it completely as much as I can. So please understand that I'm trying. Also, sorry, I figured I would answer some of the questions people left in the last video in this video. So hopefully I will also respond to them in the comments, but just in case anyone else was wondering the information, you'll know this. One of the questions comes from Lucy Evans, and she says, how do you decide to get a real tree versus a fake? Well, we we how do I explain it? We like real trees. We actually, my husband prefers real trees, but we're not here every year. So the years that we are going to be staying home, we get real trees. And the years we're going up north for Christmas to be with my family, we put the fake tree up because I don't want a real tree here when no one's home. Mainly because I know we could turn off like our auto lights and everything else, but I don't know. I just like things to come on automatically. It gives the semblance that someone's home and stuff like that. Really, no one would ever know we're home anyway because we have big blackout panels on almost every window of our house because it keeps the temperature down. We live in Florida. If you don't know, it's sweltering, and this house does not have the best windows in it. And so, to keep our electric bill down and to just be cool in our own house, we started investing in blackout panels. They're actually soundproofing panels, but we put them in the window and it helps a lot. It does dampen some of the road noise. I see some because it doesn't dampen it all. Um, but yeah, anyway, to answer your question, that's how we decide between real and fake is it just depends on what we're doing that year for Christmas. Um, Also, I've had a couple people request that I do some conspiracy videos. So let me know what conspiracies you are interested in. And please note, I will not do political conspiracies because my views may be very drastic and cause a lot of uproar when it comes to certain political things. So I will not do political um, conspiracy videos, but everything else is game. So let me know down below what you guys would love to see conspiracy wise, and I will look into doing those videos. Um, Also, I talked about Titanic documentary. I've watched just about every Titanic documentary known to man, so I am going to have to do a deep dive to try to find that particular documentary. I am still looking, Brittany. It's just, like I said, I've seen just about every Titanic documentary there is. So even putting in keywords, it's still becoming quite a feat to find it. Um, and it could be like one of the 9/11 documentaries I've watched before where it no longer exists. So it could be very well something that the um, the higher up beings have decided the internet doesn't need to know about. So let's just leave that at that. But I am still looking for it. Um, Going through. Okay, now we're getting to older ones. I kind of needed to um, just go through those. And I will respond to you guys in due time, I promise. I just been, for one, it doesn't ever notify me on my phone anymore. I don't know why. So I am going to get back to you guys, I promise. Um, but yeah. Oh, um, what am I currently working on? Right now, I am mainly working on videos of doing tasks that I've been meaning to get to. And so far, I've only done one task and a grocery haul for that video. So I am still working on that. It takes longer for me to do videos now. So when I tell you guys videos are going to be sporadic for a while, I truly do mean it. I seen my pain management doctor and I have two test runs scheduled in August, and then I don't get my um oh my god, what is it? Ablation. I do not get my nerve ablation done in my lower back until September. So it could be very well up until late September before I start doing cleaning videos again. I'm not saying that I won't put some cleaning stuff here or there, but like full cleaning video will not happen until I can basically stand longer than 5 minutes. um it's getting ridiculous. I can't even sit for very long anymore either. Laying down is the only comfortable thing, and my body eventually like goes numb if I lay too long, so even that's not working. So it's miserable over here. All right, so I'm letting Stitch out. It's raining, but I have to shoot. Anyway, we put up our stuff yesterday, and yesterday it was high enough to walk through. But today, with all the rain, it's like weighed down. I don't know if it's gonna go back up once it dries. I see that over there it fell a little, but up here it doesn't look any different. Like, it's not super stretched out, so I don't know. I'm hoping when it dries out, it'll kind of flow back up. I'm hoping it's just the water weighing it down. But, I opened up the green stock lid so the water could go in there and give this a really good drink of water. And then the cucumbers are looking good. They were looking a little rough the other day, and I don't know if it's because it was getting too much sun. And you would think this is 40%, I think. I don't remember, but it's what was recommended. It's anywhere between 40 and 70. That one back there is supposedly 40 as well, I think. But that's way darker than this. So I don't know. But I have still a tomato there, a tomato there. I have 3 tomatoes on this one. I'm gonna sneak out. It's raining, so I'm gonna see if I can zoom in for you. I'm getting rained on. See, those are my 3 little tomatoes. They've been there for a while. You come over here. You can kind of see my 1 tomato there. We come over to this one, and we have the 1 tomato. The sunflowers are coming up pretty good. I don't know what's this. Maybe some of them fell over. I don't know. But yeah, I've decided on a few things. Over here, we have radishes. These ones I thinned out from here. So these are properly planted now. Some of them didn't survive up front. We're doing Hunger Games this year. I've decided Hunger Games style. So we'll see who survives, the properly planted or the ones that have not been thinned out. We'll see. Also, cucumber plants, when they germinated, there was only 4 plants. And after the germination date, there were still just 4 plants. But then a couple weeks later, we had a good rain, and all of a sudden we had even more plants. So that's also a Hunger Games situation. We'll see if it gives us any fruit or not. If not, then next year I'll plant properly, but for now we're just Hunger Games. Same with the zucchini. I had 2 zucchinis in here, and now I think I have, this one grew up real big overnight. This one was just, yesterday this was just these 3 leaves, but they were lower. Anyway, so there's, I think, 4 in here now. Yeah, there's 4 in here. And I'm not separating them anymore, so may the odds be ever in their favor. Anyway, the watermelon is looking decent. Still nothing in those. Cantaloupe completely died. Whatever. That's where I'm at right now. I cut down the basil yesterday, so that's looking good. Oh, let me show you my banana peppers. Move, buddy. Move, buddy. Oh, and also I'll have to show you, we got a jalapeno growing. Here's the banana peppers. This one I'm pretty sure is ready to pick, but I'm giving it a little bit more time. This one's still got a ways to go. It's not firm enough. Oh my God, guys, we have peppers growing on my sweet pepper plants. That's awesome. Last year, those took forever to grow. I'm pretty sure the strawberries are dying. I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, jalapeno. Just 1 for now, but that's okay. That's better than none. And I still haven't seen any beans yet, but that's okay. But yeah, this one I don't think is gonna do very well. This is this bush bean. But yeah, and this one broke. It looks like it's starting to heal itself though, so that's good. Anyway, this is the garden. Still nothing. It's fine. All right, bud, you ready? So, wow, we just had a pretty interesting experience here. Stitch and I were in the kitchen. I was putting those things on the oven rack that I got for Christmas, or my husband got them. I don't remember. Anyway, I was putting them on the oven rack and literally heard someone knock on the door. So much so that I know it wasn't just imagining things, because Stitch started barking and he came barking at the front door. So I put him up like I normally do, and I opened the door. There was no one there. So I thought, oh, maybe there's a package. I looked around, no packages. I just went and checked the camera, because my husband fixed the sensitivity on it, so it will pick up anything that comes to the front door. Even if it's a bee that flies in front of the camera, it will pick it up. And there was nothing. The last time before I went out there looking was when my husband left for work. So that was interesting. I've never had a knocking ghost before, but it was interesting. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Interesting and a little terrifying at the same time. If you don't know, I am pretty confident this house is haunted by some sort of ghost. Here's one reason why I think so, and you guys can just tell me I'm stupid. I don't care. But I have one of those trash cans that are motion censored, and a lot of times we'll all be in the living room, me, Stitch, Justin, Mischief, and the trash can will just open on its own. Just open by itself. Nothing in its way. No rhyme or reason why it should be open. You know what I mean? So that's just one of the things. Like, I'll hear noises that yesterday we were in, well, Justin went to bed, but Mischief, Stitch, and I were sitting here in the living room, and it sounded like someone was rummaging through the pantry that's now like the appliance pantry. So or not the appliance pantry, but where I put the pots and pans and stuff. And so I'm sitting here thinking, well, maybe it's a ghost that when they were living, that they actually kept food in there. And maybe I don't know. It's weird. I hear things all the time in this house. Sometimes things just happen in this house. It's just really weird. One time, where were we? I'm pretty sure it was here. No, that was at my dad's house. So no, never mind. I was going to tell you, actually, I'll tell you a story. After my mom passed away, we were at my dad's old house. We were sitting in the living room. It was just me and my dad because it was really early in the morning, and after my mom passed away, I had a hard time sleeping in late. Like, usually when I visit my family, I have a hard time sleeping in late. Anyway, I get up pretty early. When I'm traveling, I get up early. When I'm home, I sleep comfortably. So anyway, the point is, my dad and I were just sitting there in the living room, and my dad likes to use table lamps. And all of a sudden, we were just sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden, the light in the middle of the room, the one on the ceiling, just turns on all by itself. The only way you can turn that light on is with the remote, because my dad had a remote switch put into it, and it just came on all by itself. And we both looked at each other, and I was like, "Did you turn that on?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I don't even know where the remote is for it," because they never turned it on. So he was digging through his drawer to see if he could find it. It ended up being in the remote control thing that they didn't use, because they still just set the remote controls on the table instead of putting it in the cubby. Anyway, the whole point is, he turned it off, and then not long after that, it came back on, and we were just sitting there like, what's going on? And so it started like pulsing, not flashing, but like pulsing slowly, and then it just shut off. And so we're like, well, maybe it's an electrical failure or something like that. So we used the remote, and it came on. Used the remote, and went off. Everything was working fine. And it never did that again. It never did that again. So he thinks it was my mom trying to tell us something. Even though now today, if you ask him, he'll say he doesn't believe in ghosts. I'm pretty sure it was my mom too. But yeah, this house here, it makes noises, and I know everyone's gonna say all houses make noises, but I live in Florida, so almost everyone in Florida has concrete homes. So it's not like we have wooden homes that are creaky and stuff like that. We don't even have wood floors. Our slabs are all concrete. Everything is concrete in Florida, basically. So I get, like, up north, you have houses that settle. But here, if your house settles, your concrete brick blocks are probably crumbling, and that's not a good sign. So I don't think it's the house settling. I truly believe there's something here. And for all you guys that actually communicate with me on a normal basis, know that I'm very much into the paranormal. I truly do believe there are spirits, whether they be good or bad. My belief on ghosts, though, is a lot different from other people's beliefs. So we'll just leave it at that. So, But yeah, that was just that's the first time we ever had like phantom knocking. And it was just weird. And I mean, did I just invite another entity into my home by opening the door for it? Did I invite the devil in? You know, there's a folklore about that where if there's a knock on your door but there's no one there, but you opened your door, then you invited the devil in. But it's folklore, and I don't necessarily believe that. So, Stitch, stop it. Anyway, I just had to tell you guys that story. I have a few things left drying, and then I'm going to go finish cleaning the rest of the hand wash dishes, and then I need to hang up my husband's work shirt still. I just don't feel good today, guys. And it's not like, I need to be specific because I don't want you guys thinking I'm letting my dad come into my home when I'm sick. It's just my normal stomach problems. So it's just, my stomach's really been bothering me today. I would never let my dad come into my home if I had like a really bad cold or something. I would never do that to my dad. For those of you who don't know, my dad has COPD, and I am very cautious about being around him when I'm sick now. So even though during Christmas time last year I was sick when I left to go down there, and I told them I had a cold and that I tested multiple times for COVID and I did not have COVID, and that he said it was fine, just come on down. So I did, and I did not have COVID. But if you guys don't know me, I have basically no immune system. So when I get a cold, even just a normal common cold will last like 2 or 3 weeks for me. The flu can last months for me. It's just, the one time I did have COVID, I was mad. Like, I felt okay a lot of the times. I think I'm just used to being sick, to be honest with you. But we went and got tested like every other day, and my husband tested negative, but I was still testing positive. I tested positive for 3 more weeks after that. For 3 more weeks. So I had COVID for about 2 months. It was horrible. And I wasn't even working at the time when I got COVID. My husband brought it home from work. And he came home from work, or he left work and went and got tested, and he was positive for COVID. The next morning I woke up and I said, I need to go get tested. So he went and got tested again because I didn't want to go alone. And of course I had COVID. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had already had the first shot. I am not an anti-vaxxer, but I was not going to get the shot. In fact, I did not get the shot when it first came out. I was not going to because it was a rushed approval. But we were supposed to go on, me, my dad, and my younger brother were going to go on an Alaskan cruise. And so the only way I could do that was to get vaccinated because they were not letting people on the ship without vaccinations. So I know that getting vaccinated doesn't prevent you from getting COVID. I'm completely aware of that, but it's supposed to lessen the length or something like that. I will tell you, I've only had the first 2 vaccines, or the first vaccine and the first booster. I haven't had a shot since then, and there's a lot of reasons behind it. Again, it's not because I'm like some anti-vaxxer. It's because I just don't really think it's I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it works because I was still sick for a very long time with COVID. And so I just decided at that point, I said, well, the vaccines don't work. And then restrictions started getting lifted to where the government basically said, hey, you can't ban people for not being vaccinated and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so yeah, I'm semi-vaccinated. In fact, if it's like the flu shot, like they claim, you're supposed to get vaccinated every year. I'm allergic to the flu shot, by the way, so I can't have the flu shot. That's another reason I was really hesitant about getting the COVID shot, is because I'm allergic to the flu shot. And when they told me that it was like nothing like the flu shot, I decided to go for it. And even my doctor, when it first came out, the doctor at the time, she told me to wait before getting the vaccine because of the way it was rushed out. Because I have no immune system. She wanted to wait and see how people reacted to it before she had me get the vaccine. So, sometimes you have doctors that actually think about things like that, knowing that I have the allergy to the flu vaccine, knowing that I have basically no immune system. It's good. I miss her, but for one, she was up by my old house in Haines City, and two, she switched to pediatrics. So that sucked for me because obviously I'm not a child. So anyway, I don't even know how we got on that train of thought, but I need to go and do something with my life. I'm so tired. My stomach sucks. I'm still not hungry. And I don't have anything laid out for dinner. I'm just going to heat up the leftovers, tell my husband to eat what he wants, and I'll eat whatever's left over after that. Because I don't eat a lot. Really, I don't. A fourth of a cup of that would probably be fine for me. Sometimes I'm starving, though. I have days, and I have days where I'm starving, where I feel like I can't eat enough, but I'm not constantly eating either. Before you sit there and start thinking that, I just constantly feel hungry. And it's very rare I have those days, but most of the time I'm not hungry. And food, just thinking about it disgusts me. So, but I realize other people have to eat, so I usually save my forced meal for dinner time. Sometimes I'm hungry, not all the time, but I usually save my forced meal for dinner time. Anyway, I'm really gonna let you go now, and I'll see you in just a moment. All right, so it's actually been a few days since I started editing this. Oh my god, I came down. I'm pretty sure it was an ear infection now. I thought it might have been a toothache, but it's not hurting today at all. If it was a toothache, it would still be hurting. So, anyway, yeah, I still don't feel 100%, but I'm not in pain in my ear. On the right side of my face. My whole right side of my face hurt. And the reason I was confused is because usually when I have an ear infection, my ear gets so inflamed that it hurts to even touch my ear. But, you know, I haven't had an ear infection since I had my sinus surgery. So, maybe it was just a normal ear infection like I used to get when I was a little girl. Um, I, guys, I've been sick my whole entire life. It's not a joke. I've had sinus problems my whole entire life. I've had, oh, who knows what else. I know for a fact my mom tried since I was a little girl to get my tonsils out, and it took until I was an adult, and my husband demanded that they send me to an ear, nose, and throat doctor to get my tonsils removed. And I think I already told the story though, but I'm pretty sure it pissed my mom off because we had army insurance. I guess that just proves that the army will do everything they can to not do procedures on kids. I don't know. But according to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, my tonsils were 4 times the size they needed to be. And when I went and saw her, I wasn't sick. I didn't feel sick. I didn't have a sore throat or anything like that. We saw her after I'd already been on antibiotics for a few weeks. So, um, to find out, and she said that it's probably been like that my whole entire life. And so I think that's the part that really pissed my mom off is that she, I was told it's probably been like that my whole entire life, and the army doctors would refuse to take my tonsils out years and years and years. So, because they kept saying, when you get strep throat again, why'd get strep throat again? They'd be like, oh, well, when you get strep throat again, and just keep repeating the whole process. So, anyway, if you have children and they have like sinus problems or they get sick, definitely advocate for them and demand to see like a specialist, because I will tell you right now, if you let them get their tonsils out when they're adult and you could have done something about it when they were children, it's like 1,000 times worse when they're an adult. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Children's bodies tend to heal quicker than adult bodies. That's all I'm going to say, is because oh my God, it was the worst thing I'd ever gone through. And I broke my neck. So for me to say that I'd rather break my neck again than have my tonsils taken out, that should tell you something. So definitely advocate for your children if they tend to get a lot of sore throats and sinus infections. By the way, I put that in the garage because it had mold on it. And so my husband's going to try to get the mold off. Of course, this was filmed. Let me see when this was filmed. Okay, this was filmed at the beginning of May. If you don't know, if you export your footage, it will tell you when it was filmed because it brings over all the properties from your phone. So it will tell you when it was filmed. I don't know if you knew that or not. But anyway, it was filmed at the beginning of May. And we've yet to do anything about that cutting board. So it's probably just going to go in the trash. It was a free cutting board we got when we bought our old house. And it has their branding on it. It's a company I would never recommend to anyone because all they did was lie to our faces the whole entire time they were building our house. Like, we were supposed to move in March of 2021 and not March, April of 2021, and we didn't get moved in until September because they kept lying to our faces. And if they would just tell us the truth, we wouldn't have been so mad, but they made up excuses, and then we found out they were lying about it, and that just really rubbed me the wrong way. The pool people did the same exact thing. So I would never recommend the pool company we used, and I would never recommend the builder we used. So anyway, I'll complain later. All right, guys. It's looked better. I've had it in the refrigerator for a couple days, but this is the first harvest of basil. It was getting super tall and it started to grow a flower, which told me it was time to cut it down. or trim it down, I should say. Anyway, we're gonna give these a decent quick wash. I don't use like insecticides or anything like that, so we don't need to like scrub them or anything. All right, here comes the hard part. Is I have to dry them before we can cook them. So let's move over here. All right. Let me get a couple of towels out. And I don't want the white ones. I know that sounds stupid. Will they stain? I don't know. Also, I'm in my pajamas, so it's fine. Let's do it this side. Anyway, you know, I'm gonna just do this. You pick the leaves off, you put them down. Oh, we need to get our oven on. Bake 175. So we're gonna get that preheating while we basically pick all the leaves off.
Sitting in silence like 4 feet apart, and there's so many things that I wish I could say, but I don't. Fuck, I just don't. Rewind the tape and just play me those memories. You're leaning into me and I'm holding on to your shoulder. Where did that go? Oh, I hope we don't give in. It would never be the same. It's like you're gone when you're still here. Will I lose? Oh, I don't wanna lose you. Oh, I don't wanna lose you. This old apartment, I swear it feels smaller. There's nowhere to breathe. We don't look at each other. We don't. So I just go. And we should be talking, not hiding the problem. Open a bottle and don't go to bed till the sun goes up. Till the sun goes up. Oh, I hope we don't give in. It would never be the same. It's like you're gone when you're still here.
All right, so I'm cooking it on 175. Hold on, no, shoot. 170, sorry. And she said 45 minutes to an hour. I set my timer for 45 minutes. I will check on it in 45 minutes and see if it needs longer. And then that project will be done. I need to go sit down now. I'm extremely hot and I feel dizzy, so. All right, it's done. And it looks like nothing. But I'm still putting it in a big mason jar because this is hopefully the first of many basil harvest drying things. I don't know what I just said. Why is the paper not bending? And I'm not crushing it yet. I'm gonna do that all at once when I need it. I'd rather leave it whole for now. And then once my basil, do I even have basil up here? That's the real question. I need to go through this and clean it up. I have bay leaves, which is what this is, right? Or are those different? You can correct me. I will not be offended. Maybe I don't have any basil. I have dill weed. Chives. Oh, I have basil. Alright, so once this is gone, which is barely used, but I usually, okay, so when this is gone, I'm going to make homemade Italian seasoning, which apparently isn't going to be that hard. I just can use the ingredients that I have in the smaller bottles to make my own Italian seasoning. So this will get used when this is out. I hardly use basil on its own, which is probably most of American households. They probably are the same way. They probably don't just use basil on its own. If you do, I need to know what you're making, like dried basil, because most of the recipes I find that have any type of basil in it also calls for almost every ingredient that's in Italian seasoning. So I just go ahead and use Italian seasoning instead, because it's just easier than pulling out 5 other different spices and putting them in that way. Granted, it's probably different measurements than what you would get from Italian seasoning, but I guess I don't ever think about it like that. Anyway, that project is officially done for today. I do not feel good at all today, by the way. This project took everything in me. Like, I was gonna go take a nap, and I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do the basil, and then we'll go from there. So anyway, take 2 in recording this. Yeah, so there's about to be an intro. I didn't realize that, okay, so there's this video and one more. I didn't realize I put them in the same folder. So you'll have one more pre-recorded video after this one. And yeah, and then hopefully I'll have some footage. I've been recording like little tasks here and there. I've recorded a recent grocery haul. I don't know when you're gonna see it though, so it could very well be a June grocery haul in September for all I know at this point. I'm really trying my best. I just haven't had a lot of energy to really do anything but sit on the couch and watch TV. And I know that sounds so silly to say. Like, this morning, I woke up, I washed my Dutch oven that I cooked in yesterday. I made chicken noodle soup and it boiled over. So I soaked it overnight in really hot water, and then I washed it this morning so while everything was loose on it and could come off easy. That took a lot out of me. And then after I rested a couple of hours, I got up and threw the towels into the washer. So, and that took a lot out of me. So just even the smallest tasks seem to take a lot of energy from me. I need to go unload the dishwasher. I don't have a full load, but I do want to get it unloaded and then put the little bit of dishes I have in the dishwasher so that I can just, put them in there. And that's my goal, is to get to where I start unloading the dishwasher the morning after they wash, and then just load the dishes as they get into the sink. So we'll see if that happens. I'm just trying to do something to make my life a little bit easier with the little bit of energy I have. And so if unloading the dishwasher now will help me in the future, I think that's fine. The problem though with unloading it the morning after it's ran is that the dishes are still wet because the dryer part in the dishwasher doesn't work the best. And so I usually let them air dry for um, most of the day. So I guess I could theoretically let it dry most of the day and then put him up like before dinner or something. That's an option. Speaking of dinner, I think tonight we're having pizza. I have two cauliflower crusts that we need to use because they've been in the freezer for probably almost a year now. I'm trying to get the freezer cleaned out. I say this as I continue to put like leftovers because, like, I think I told you guys this before. Usually when I cook, I try to make enough to have leftovers. Mischief. No, no. Um, and then I put those in a foil pan and put them in the freezer for a later date meal, like when I really don't have any energy at all to cook at all. And, we don't always have extra money to go out to eat. So, um, for those times, it's nice to have something quick and easy that I can throw in. Yesterday, I made chicken noodle soup. I don't think did I say that already? Maybe. But we had a lot left over. Well, not a lot. Probably enough for my husband and I to have one bowl each because I don't eat a lot. Um, I think I told you guys that a million times. I really don't eat much at all. Um, you know what I should do is start taking a picture of before and after for you guys so that you can see how much I actually eat. Uh, because I know, like, I don't have to like prove myself, but I know there's gonna be someone that's like, I don't know what your idea of barely eating is, but you're a fat ass and blah blah blah. But I know I'm fat, so you don't have to tell me that. I think I've said that many times before. No need to tell me I'm fat because I already know. However, I did manage, I don't know if I've told you guys this yet. I did manage, I'm under 280. I'm in the 270s. Well, this morning I was 269.7. So I don't even count that as under 270 yet. It's got to like stay under 270 for a few weeks before I count it as being under 270. But I was just proud to get under 280 because I think the last time I was under 280 pounds was in my early 20s. Um, for those of you who don't know, I have PCOS, and I'm not using that as an excuse to be fat, but it's definitely harder to lose weight, I feel like, when you have all these things wrong with you. Like, I have no immune system, so I already can't do a lot of things that normal people can. But see, the difference between me and other people with low immune systems is that I try not to let it get me down, and I still go out and I try to get germs. I know that sounds bad, but I feel like you build up an immunity the more you expose yourself to things. So I don't purposefully try to get sick per se, but I try to still be around germy people. Like, for example, when you go to the doctor's office, a lot of people will wear a mask. So, like, if they have low immune systems, they'll wear a mask so they don't be around other sick people and get sick. Like, for me, I don't know the last time I went to the doctor because I was actually sick. But you know, I don't wear a mask when I go to the doctor. I mean, I did obviously during 2020, 2021 because it was required, but now they don't require it, which is good with me because um, one of my doctors told me not to wear a mask because it was lowering my oxygen too low. So they said, hey, they basically told me no more than 5 minutes at a time. So I was lucky enough to have a job that didn't make me wear my mask when no one was in the building. If someone came up to my counter, I was a receptionist slash assistant at a veterinary hospital. So anyway, I only had to put my mask on if someone came up to the desk to speak to me. And that was it. Other than that, I didn't wear my mask. None of the other people wore their masks if no one else was around. And we were all fine with that. We were comfortable around each other and we trusted each other that we weren't going out and exposing ourselves purposefully to sick people, basically. Anyway, not that that's important. I just figured I would say that. But anyway, I'm going to shut up now because I've already talked for like 8 minutes, and I'm going to let the outro from the original video play, and I will see you guys next video. I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and we're going to start the next video with whatever I do next. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Have you ever made your own herb seasonings? If so, what did you make? And if you haven't done so already, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.
I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my